Till you hear me so loud and clearly, this is the last time you'll ever hear from me.
Hi there guys, welcome once again to Jonesy's vlog. So looking back to Tuesday night's match against Burnley where Leeds United won 1-0. I came back from Ellen Road that night thinking I'd actually just been to see Brazil play, because some of the passing and the amount of passing was just, well, it was unbelievable, to be honest. I don't think I've seen Leeds pass the ball that much at all this season as we did in that match. Nowhere near as many times. It was, there was an audible shock around Ellen Road. Sometimes the atmosphere, there wasn't really much of it, and I think that really was just because the fans couldn't believe what we were watching. I mean, from passing, Paddy Kenny passing it out from the back instead of always, kicking out, to just playing out from defence and everything. The hoof ball just seemed to completely disappear. It was just, and some of the play that we were doing and the chances created. I can't remember the last time I've seen Leeds United play like that. And the word I'm going to be using a lot in this vlog is the word positive. And that's what it was. It was just positive football. It was positive play. That it made the fans, the positivity. There was a noticeable lift, around Ellen Road. Yes, there weren't many there, which was disappointing. It would have been nice to see a couple more thousand there to see this decent football and see the difference in the team. But also there was a noticeable change in the players. The lift amongst the players was really, really nice to see. They looked like they were actually enjoying playing the football. Their energy levels seemed to be up. They were getting stuck in all over the park, and just in general looked like they were wanting to play for Leeds United, which is something that has been criticised and put to them this season, that they just haven't looked interested. And under Warnock, maybe they weren't. I mean, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but there just seemed to be no motivation there, no real interest, like I say, in playing. But since McDermott's come in, that change has been there to see. I mean, yeah, it still wasn't perfect. Obviously, some of the passes weren't quite coming off, but it's a team that haven't been used to playing like this. So, to suddenly go from hoofing the ball, every other, second and everything, to constantly having to pass the ball and pass your way out of defence. Obviously things were going to go a bit wrong at times, but that's quite expected, really. Obviously the defence still needs a bit of work to do, but I'm definitely not going to be complaining. I couldn't really fault any of the players on Tuesday night. I thought they all did a fantastic job. They all did their individual jobs perfectly well. I thought Paddy Kenny did absolutely fine in goal. He wasn't really put under too much pressure from Burnley. Apart from the real sort of last 5 minutes of the match, is only real time Burnley looked really dangerous. Defensive wise, it was nice to have Tom Lees back in defence. It kind of shored things up a bit there. Warnock looking really good again at left back. The way he gets forward. For the age that he is, you wouldn't think he'd have that much pace about him, but he's a real threat coming forward, which is nice to see. We haven't had that from left back for quite a while. Byram, he had another fantastic match, didn't he? I mean, he was absolutely fantastic. I'll be coming on to him a bit later as well. The midfield looked much better. Paul Green, who I've been slating for many, many weeks now since he came back from his injury, I thought he finally had quite a decent game, really. He seemed to be back to his old self a little bit. Austin, for me, was man of the match, and again, he's a player that I've been criticising recently, but his passing was back on top form. He was getting forward again. He looked like he was actually enjoying himself playing, which hasn't been seen for a while. And his goal, well, I mean, it's got to be up there with goals of the season for Leeds this year, hasn't it? From the passing in the build up, Juve coming in from the touchline, and that fantastically, that measured chip into the box to find Austin. And I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but when I saw Austin running onto it, I thought, well, he's going to blast this one. It's probably going to go off the keeper or go wide or go over the bar. But I mean, the placement on the shot and how cool and calm he was in taking that. I mean, it wasn't easy really when you look at it, but it was just a beautiful goal. I mean, it really was a beautiful goal. So I think that kind of epitomised the performance really. That the goal, it just showed the class and the difference in the team. Juve, I thought not as good as when he came on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday, but I thought again I couldn't really fault him either. I thought he had a decent game. Holding the ball, taking the ball down so well as he always does. Obviously creating the goal as we've just said. Varney and McCormack up front. I thought McCormack had a very busy game. Again he was sort of covering every blade of grass, getting forward and getting back in defence as well. And Varney, although he did miss those chances, it was good to see him getting in those positions. At least he was getting there. Unlike kind of Steve Morrison recently, he was looking more energetic. Again, looking like he was enjoying himself, which he hasn't really looked like he has all season really. The way he was sort of celebrating the goal and celebrating afterwards, it looks like he's maybe changing the corner again. He's been a player that I've been so critical of, and obviously a lot of other fans have. But maybe this is the change that he needed, being played in that striker's role, the difference in tactics as well. Maybe it's just what he needed. And, if that's how we're going to be playing next season, if that's what we've got to come, then, we can't look past promotion really, can we, for next season? I mean, we must be up there. As long as there's financial backing in the summer and McDermott gets to bring in the players that he wants, then I think next season is going to be a really, really good year for us. And already I'm looking forward to it, because this season has been so depressing. I've said it on many occasions now, but for me personally it really has been my lowest season supporting Leeds United on so many levels. And I think that last game against Brighton, hopefully it will be a massive bumper crowd, just to celebrate. I think two things really: celebrate the season is over, and we can say goodbye to what's been such a poor season for us, but to celebrate a new era at the club. Clearly this is our time. Hopefully this is our time. We've said it so many times before, but we seem to have turned that corner hopefully, and we can look forward to a pretty decent summer, and we can look forward to hopefully going up next season, which would be brilliant. And McDermott is still impressing. I mean, obviously on Tuesday night, we were impressed with how he'd managed to get the team to play. But in the interviews again that he's been given, he's saying all the right things, and I mean everything is said as all the fans have been really impressed by it, and so have I. I mean, a lot of people were saying that we were like this when Warnock came in, but it seems a lot more different this time with Brian. Everything that he's saying from wanting to keep Sam Byram. He said he's 100% sure that he'll still be here next season, despite Man City rumoured to be wanting to offer 10 million for him in the summer. And Byram seemed quite positive in what he was saying, that he enjoys playing at Leeds, and the fact he's actually getting to play football. That was a kind of hint that if he was to go somewhere like Man City, he probably wouldn't get to play the football, which is quite clear, because for me it would be a bad career move for him at this time. So I've got a gut feeling he'll probably still be here next season. So hopefully, that will happen. And like I say, everything has been saying about wanting all the players and the fans and the coaching staff to be going in the same direction. Wanting all the players and the coaching staff to be living in the same area, and just doing everything together and being a united club, which he said after the game on on Tuesday. And it seems to be such a calming influence. So just impressed all round with everything that's happening. Like I say, a lot of positivity around the place. The fans on Twitter, there seems to be no one really moaning about things anymore. So like I say, hopefully we've turned that corner, guys, and we can really start looking towards next season and just enjoy these last three matches. Really go out there and enjoy ourselves. So that's all I've really got to say on Leeds United and the game the other night. So do let me know your thoughts, people that were there at the game the other night. Give me your view of everything and how things have changed. If you think we still need the overhaul of players and the different players you might want to see come in. Realistically, what players could come into the team. Your thoughts on McDermott, of course, and what he's been saying and the coaching staff, and of course looking towards next season. I have decided to go ahead with the question and answer session. I've had quite a few people getting in touch saying they think it would be quite a decent idea. Already had quite a few questions come in as well. So I'm probably going to aim to do it probably next weekend. I've got quite a busy week next week, so I won't really have time to do anything on here then. But yeah, I'm aiming for next weekend. You know, then that gives a week for you guys to actually get your questions in. If people are still wanting to get the questions in, it may be 1 or 2 weeks depending on how things are going. But yes, I am deciding to do it, guys, so please do get your questions into me, whether it's Leeds United based, just generally sports based, things you know, about myself, about my life, my hobbies and things, you know, my gaming, obviously the gaming videos I'm doing here. You know, I'm quite a sort of nerd when it comes to games, so get your questions in there. You know, not really any limit to the questions coming in, guys, so really ask me anything you want. And hopefully we can get a pretty decent question and answer video up at some point. So yeah, do that either on here or through my Twitter at ChrisJonesLUFC. And as always, guys, please do keep liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, as always, guys, and I will see you very soon.